I'm Terri. We've been married for over 27 years and nearly got divorced 2 years ago. And then we accidentally rebooted our relationship.
While we are very different people, during the reboot, we decided that our shared passion for travel and adventure was what we were going to focus on.
When we looked for a 2-day getaway within 2 hours of our home in Silicon Valley, we chose to go to Santa Rosa and Sebastopol in Sonoma County.
During 2 separate visits, one in January and again in June, we really liked different aspects of the area. It's just 65 miles north of San Francisco in the heart of Northern California's wine country.
While many have heard of Napa, Sonoma County is right next to Napa Valley and is much more laid back, less crowded, more affordable, and the area has lots of great food, good shopping, fun activities, beautiful scenery, is generally dog friendly, and of course, there's the wine.
Whether you live in Northern California or are visiting the Bay Area from afar, a trip to Sonoma County will be one of a kind.
For a 2-day getaway, we recommend making your way to and staying in Santa Rosa, visiting Sebastopol and Occidental, and then returning to San Francisco via the coast. We have lots of details, including restaurant and wine tasting recommendations in a blog on our website. And even in January, the weather can be gorgeous. While the Northern California wine country is very popular in the summer, and again in the fall for the crush, winter is a great time to visit.
Get on the road early enough to stop in downtown Santa Rosa for lunch. No need to wait for the adventure to start.
There's definitely some old for California history here based on the beautiful buildings we saw as we wandered around the main square and surrounding area. We enjoyed a casual lunch at Americana, which is right off the freeway and a short walk from the main square.
Where should we stay? There are many options, but 2 jump out at us.
The first is the Flamingo Resort and Spa in Santa Rosa. We are big fans of renovated mid-century motels, and despite mixed experiences, we look for them wherever we travel. The Flamingo is definitely one of the best that we've stayed at thus far, and it's dog friendly.
There's a full restaurant on the property for all the popular meals that is above average. A huge pool, workout facility, and tennis and pickleball.
The area is flat and easily walkable with access to trails. Next time we plan to bring our e-bikes, unless of course we bring our empty nest puppy, George.
The other and more affordable option is to car camp at a hip camp spot in the area. You can still enjoy all the regional restaurants, tasting rooms, and amazing outdoor spaces with a more rustic vibe. There are lots of interesting hip camps with the many rural farms and ranch properties close by.
Now we're still trying this model on and we continue to tweak it with our little adventures.
It's certainly easier to bring a tent, sleeping bags, some chairs, and gear for coffee, and then spend the day away from the camp exploring Sonoma County, only to return to sleep under the stars.
For dinner, we recommend checking out Spinster Sisters, also in Santa Rosa, or Hazel in Occidental. Both use local seasonal ingredients and have indoor and outdoor seating options, and both are dog friendly.
After we've had a nice dinner and a good night's sleep, it's time to take advantage of the local trails.
But for us, not before Zeke has had his coffee and breakfast. As you will quickly learn as you watch our videos, we can't go anywhere before these 2 things happen.
Well, there might be a third. She's not kidding. Coffee is life. It's the last fun thing I have. If you're staying at the Flamingo, we recommend starting with breakfast at the resort. Like I said, it's above average. Then you'll find the Santa Rosa Creek Trail is right across the street. No driving for breakfast and hiking.
It's beautiful, regardless of the weather, and you won't need special hiking gear. The terrain varies, beginning with the narrow woodsy trail opening up into a paved trail, good for strollers, bikes, and scooters.
If you are car camping, you most likely have trails in or around your campsite, just like we did when we stayed at Rainbow Farms. After you knock out a couple thousand steps, we like the Florence Avenue Art Walk in Sebastopol, showcasing Patrick Amiot's eclectic and clever recycled material sculptures in front of every single house on the street. As Oakland A's fans, we had a favorite.
At this point, you may be getting hungry and thirsty, so next up should be a visit to the Barlow Outdoor Market, a 12-acre, dog-friendly outdoor market district featuring local food, wine, beer, spirits, and crafts made on-site by Sonoma County artisans, according to their website.
It's a comfortable and relaxed environment with shops like J.G. Switzer and one of Terri's favorite wine places, Pax Wines.
Since I'm more of a wine drinker than a wine taster, I appreciate the snacks that come with the wine and the comfortable outdoor seating, which is also dog friendly.
And if you need more than a charcuterie board for lunch, like somebody I know with 2 thumbs, there are several great restaurants in the Barlow, including Blue Ridge Kitchen.
As I said, I'm less of a wine taster and more of a wine drinker, and Zeke no longer drinks alcohol, so we don't go to many wineries, with a few exceptions. We'll do a video on Healdsburg, which is my favorite area for wine tasting in Northern California, and actually anywhere in the world for that matter.
And I may obsess over my coffee, but Terri loves champagne, so Iron Horse Vineyards, her favorite Sonoma County Maison de Champagne. Tastings are by reservation only, and the vineyard is definitely off the beaten path, but well worth the trek. The property is gorgeous and the tours are always good.
There are hundreds of wineries in Sonoma County, and I'll go ahead and put a link in the show description to the sonoma.com winery list. Many are very dog friendly, but most require reservations.
Another option during the warmer months is to head down to the Russian River, which runs from far north of Healdsburg all the way to the Pacific Ocean.
There's rafting, camping, and plenty of places to park and walk down to the water. You can even float down the river in an inner tube.
There are several outfits in the area who will rent gear and pick you up and take you back to your car. Sadly, our favorite rafting company, All Outdoors, doesn't offer trips on the Russian River.
George, who is a black lab mix, wasn't so sure about the water, but he sure loves the sticks. He's been to the ocean, but this was his very first trip to a river. One night when we were camping, we went into the hamlet of Graton, which is right next to Sebastopol, to pick up dinner and take it back to the campsite.
I don't think I'd ever been to a hamlet before.
Do we even have many hamlets in California? Regardless, after a day outdoors, including some hiking, shopping, and wine tasting, a nice dinner, however you define it, is well deserved.
And then it's time for a good night's sleep. Being over 50, sleep is almost as important to me as my morning coffee, so we tend to prefer quiet nights at the hotel or campsite after a nice dinner.
And then, after coffee and breakfast, it's time to take the long way back to San Francisco. It may be faster to take Highway 101 back down to the Bay Area, but what's the fun in that?
During our last trip, as we headed out of town, I looked for places to stop along the way, and Landpaths' grove of old trees showed up on Google Maps. It was a little bit of a detour, but worth the extra time.
And it's dog friendly, so we were able to take George on a walk through the grove. When you come to Northern California, you have to visit at least one redwood grove. And if you find one to camp in, all the better.
After the Redwood Grove, we continued to head towards Bodega Bay and then down Highway 1 through Valley Ford towards San Francisco.
On our last trip, we stumbled into Valley Ford, another new to us town. It's really embarrassing how little we know of some of these areas that are just 2 hours from where we grew up and where we now live.
Yep, this appeared to be a popular spot for both cyclists and those in cars.
It's hard to believe that we were just an hour from downtown San Francisco because it felt like we were a world away.
As you travel down the coast on the Pacific Coast Highway, there are a fair number of spots to stop and take pictures.
I had Zeke stop so we could check out these little cabins and of course wondered aloud about how we could stay at one of them.
The area is called Steep Ravine and it's part of the Mount Tamalpais State Park. It's so popular, spots are awarded in a lottery. They are hoping this avoids bots getting all the reservations.
So did you get us a spot for the summer?
Well, I thought I had, until I realized the state's reservation system had been hacked, and I got all excited for nothing. I figured it out after giving them my first dog's favorite car.
I still think we are truly fortunate to live so close to such diversity in scenery.
Yes, by taking the long way home, we drove from sunny vineyards to a foggy redwood grove to cow pastures to the Pacific Ocean and through a eucalyptus grove before making our way to the Golden Gate Bridge.
And as much as I love exploring new places, I feel like I'm being welcomed home when we get back to the Golden Gate Bridge. I do have to say though that while every other view of her is beautiful, my favorite view is from below when I'm piloting a Robinson R44 helicopter. It's so much more fun.
I bet. And with that, we've finished up a little over 48 hours in Sonoma County, the perfect Bay Area getaway weekend.
And while we'd love to go back again soon, there's so much to see elsewhere in California. We have lots more to explore within a 2 to 3 hour drive from the house.
This year, that seems to be our approach for California travel. See where we can drive and take George.
Given the travel we have coming up, our next local adventure may not be until June or July.
Between now and then, we have quite a bit to explore, including some solo trips. More on that in upcoming videos.
So thanks for coming along with us as we shared some of our favorite spots in Sonoma County. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. Our contact information is on the website, zekeandterri.com, or you can leave a note in the comments.
And now, back to navigating our lives and the world together.